I would say there are two main barriers to effective engagement with SMEs by the public sector in Wales. The first is a failure by the Welsh public sector to communicate properly with SMEs, to make them aware of opportunities and to invite them in. And the second then is probably the perception of SMEs themselves that getting Welsh public sector business is too difficult, too complicated, perhaps a closed shop, and many actively don't seek it out. There's one I'd really want to stress today, which is the National Procurement website, www.sell2wales, which is designed for Welsh SMEs to register their details on. As a public sector procurer, I can access it. I also put all our requirements on that website, and it's really a brilliant communication interface between the two of us. The second one isn't yet come into fruition, but we are looking very much at trying to standardise the documentation in the Welsh public sector so that a supplier dealing with Carmarthenshire will get the same sort of paperwork as dealing perhaps with Ceredigion, Merthyr or other authorities like that. We always offer a feedback meeting to our local suppliers. What we want to get from the meeting is the opportunity to explain to them where they went wrong and hopefully to make sure that they do bid in the future. As to what the SME gets out of it really depends on the attitude that they come with. If they come with the attitude that they weren't successful this time but they want to learn why, then they'll go away with a positive experience. If they come with the attitude, we should have had this business because we're local, regardless of who else was bidding for it, then they'll go away disappointment because the meeting isn't to change anybody's mind, but it is to give information. The most common reasons why an SME doesn't submit a tender tends to be the lack of time. They have all the good intentions, they're going to put a bid in, and all of a sudden something crops up just before they're due to submit it and they don't get time to finalise it and they don't submit. Other reasons we get is that they can be daunted by the documentation and slightly put off it, and also just before putting the bid in sometimes they do get cold feet. They think, oh, do I really want to do this? Am I biting off more than I can chew? So those tend to be the main reasons. How equipped SMEs are really does depend on the SME itself. We've got some who are very keen and are ready and willing to go now. We've got others who haven't even got internet access. So it's a wide range of possibilities, really. There is support out there, both from the councils themselves, with the Economic Development Department, to organisations like the WDA, who can help them provide that funding. But the SME has got to want to go down that route itself, and that's got to be a business decision for that SME at the end of the day. At Pembrokeshire County Council, we've done supplier expenditure analysis for the last 2 or 3 years, and we've found it very, very useful. It shows us what we spend and with whom. Basic questions, but you'd be surprised that you don't always know the answer. So the expenditure analysis side of the project we'd already undertaken. Where we really see the benefits is hopefully to be able to compare what we've done with the other authorities and public sector bodies in this Interreg project, and to be able to compare and benchmark with them. We've had a procurement strategy since 2001, but the key element with any strategy is to make sure that it's relevant and kept up to date. One of the main parts of our strategy is how we deal with local suppliers and to make sure that we do communicate properly with our SME community. Aggregation of contracts has its benefits. Our view is that one size doesn't fit all. You can certainly look at aggregation for commodities such as energy, gas, oil, where you can save on tendering costs and also buy bulk buy-in. And there are certainly other commodities we consider it for as well, but it won't fit every commodity. Rationalising your supply base and aggregating your spend are key elements in professional procurement. What it does do is it turns you into a more professional, competent buyer. It makes you a better customer for your suppliers then. The package you're putting together is more attractive for them. And that should benefit all our suppliers, whether they're SMEs or multinational companies. It certainly shouldn't be a deterrent. There are certain sectors of businesses that SMEs will find it difficult to break into, where the multinationals, the big companies, do have a hold. Stationery, office products, and obviously energy doesn't affect SMEs. Computer hardware, it's very difficult for SMEs to get in. Where I think they've got to target is to target the niche markets there to support local authorities. There's no doubt all Wales tenders in those areas do have a detrimental effect. The tenders are divided into lots, so there is opportunities for SMEs to bid for only part of it, and it's identifying their niche part of it, really. And I'd certainly encourage them to tender in these All Wales tenders.